Welcome to Speaking Free with Christopher Long and Robert Budd, the co-leaders of Family Residences and Essential Enterprises. We are a multi-service organization proudly supporting 4,500 differently abled folks from Nassau, Suffolk County, and the greater New York City area. Our organization strives to maximize and realize the full potential of all of those that we are privileged to support through a wide range of diverse services, including employment, pre-vocational services, transition to work, housing, and advocacy, education, youth, and integrated health. Each month we are featuring guest speakers to speak about topics and have a conversation and a dialogue about those topics that are relevant to the health and human services field. And we are so proud to be hosting this month's radio show to speak about the New York State budget, government advocacy for people with disabilities. And we are very pleased to have three esteemed guests with us. If I may first introduce Senator Phil Boyle from New York State. Thank you so much for being with us, Senator.
Thank you for having me.
Steve Malito, the chair of the New York State Government Relations at Davidoff, Hutcher, and Citron. Steve, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And Joe Jankowski, the Senior Director of Government Relations here at Family Residences. Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Robert Budd's going to kick us off today.
So good morning, and thank you again for being here. We know everyone has so many competing priorities, but I think it's so indicative of the champions that you truly are for people with disabilities, the fact that you always make time to be present, to advocate for those who are so honored to serve every day. You know, Chris mentioned that Free alone serves over 4,500 individuals who are differently abled, but as a network, we actually touch the lives of about 25,000 individuals in varying places within our Suffolk, Nassau, Queens, and Manhattan communities. And today, we are so pleased to have experts who know how to help us to speak on their behalf when it's necessary, to empower them to speak for themselves, which is always our first priority, and certainly the families and people within their circle of support. This particular topic is obviously very timely because of the time of the year we are in, and so we are very grateful for your expertise. And now that the budget has been proposed by the governor, we were interested in hearing your thoughts, maybe highlight one or two topics or elements that you think were most important for us to focus on.
Well, thank you, and thank you again, Robert and Chris. Yeah, you're right. The governor has proposed his budget, and this time of year, the month of March, we're negotiating with other legislators, both the Senate, where I serve, and the Assembly, and with the governor, as to what's going to be in the final version. What we'll see now is what we call one-house budgets. So the Senate is going to do our version of the budget, and the Assembly will do their version. So really, at the end of the day, there'll be three different versions: the governor's, the Senate, and the Assembly, and we all need to come together to get the final one, hopefully by April 1st. And I think we should be able to do it. Obviously, services for clients and patients for direct care and with disabilities are high in the agenda, very high in the agenda this year. The problem I see is that for the first time in numerous years, we're going to have a budget deficit instead of a surplus. There's less money, but obviously this is going to be a priority.
Wonderful, thank you. Steve, Joe?
Yeah, I agree with what Senator Boyle said about the issue regarding the deficit, and I do think it's positive that the governor has indicated that he would like to increase funding for developmental disability services. And that's a good news considering the fact that we do have a deficit. So we're very hopeful, and we're looking forward to continuing to the fight on behalf of Free to make sure that that increase stays where it is, and ideally it's even bigger.
Oh, those are nice words.
And I agree. As we come up with families and self-advocates for the different campaigns that we are advocating for, we definitely hear that as well. So I echo what Steve said. Definitely there are opportunities to support the people that we serve, that we are so proudly to serve at Free, and we appreciate the work that everyone is doing there.
Great. You know, last year we were so thrilled, and thank you again for your support on the Be Fair to Direct Care campaign. You know, it's a unique circumstance, kind of a coming together of a number of priorities, all of which we're in favor of. We are so dedicated to supporting our direct support professionals. If the minimum wage continues to go up, we know that the impact on our direct support professionals is that they are often put in a situation where they have to choose between a field where they're required to participate in many certifications and trainings, and as that compression point occurs, the longer they're in the field, they sometimes feel less valued because of the way our funding works. So as a major priority for us is the Be Fair to Direct Care campaign, which supports individuals who support others to be able to have living wages, which means that we want to not only preserve the small differential that already exists between our direct support professionals' wages and the minimum wage, but hopefully, as Steve so nicely brought up, to increase the difference so that we can truly honor them as the professionals that they are. So we are seeking your expertise, your advice, and as you've already mentioned, it is a different year than it has in the last few years. And certainly we know from our economic impact studies that our support services actually become meaningful parts of the economy in the local community. And I think that's something we always try to mention as we educate the general public. The days of us being a charity are long ago. We are meaningful community members in many ways, and certainly one of those is as participating members in the local economy. So could we ask you to share your unique perspective and your expertise on how to best help those we are so honored to be advocating for?
The Be Fair to Direct Care campaign was very good last year, but we're taking it to the next level now. And I urge everyone, families, advocates, everyone, contact your state senators and your assembly people to let them know how important it is for additional funding for mental health services and particularly for direct care workers. And don't wait.
What I will add to this is that our job is made easier by elected officials like Senator Boyle. From the moment that we started working with Senator Boyle on this issue, he has understood it immediately. He has come to Freeze Homes, as you guys know. He has been there from the very beginning, and he is a great champion on our behalf. And we're really thrilled that we are able to lean on him time and time again. And it is March, and it is the time is now, and we do plan to lean on you, Senator, if that's okay. No problem.
And it's funny that you say the time is now, because tomorrow morning we'll be leaving for Albany to make another pilgrimage upstate.
Is that now enough?
Yes, yeah, is that now enough? Yeah, exactly. We'll be heading up with the COPA, the Coalition of Provider Agencies, working together on the Be Fair to Direct Care campaign. So we'll be in Albany for a campaign rally, really reaching out to everybody, making sure that this issue is heard. And I know it has been heard, so thank you for that.
I just want to mention, when talking about direct care professionals, and both Robert and I have had the privilege of beginning our careers as direct support professionals, and what we have acknowledged is that the responsibilities have broadened quite a bit over, 30 years since we've done direct service.
He's dating us now.
Is there anything you think we can be doing differently as a provider organization to better educate the public about the role and responsibilities of direct service professionals?
My experience in terms of working for free as your government relations expert, our office's experience has been that there's nothing quite like coming to Albany like you are tomorrow. When we talk about the public, it's so important for us to start with elected officials and the staff and being up there in Albany. And we have so many opportunities now in media where we can bring that kind of message even down to whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook and move on and so on. It gives us an opportunity to really get out there and get this message out. And from what we do, we're welcome to, we love doing it. We love the opportunity to do that as much as we can. But that would be my 2 cents for what I think we can do.
Yeah, and I think when we travel to Albany, like we are tomorrow, and like we did the past 2 weeks, we did go up as well. Our advocates are incredible at sharing their message. And I know we wouldn't have that opportunity if we didn't have the right people to speak to, like Senator Boyle. So many people were able to connect with their senators, their legislators, their assembly members while we were up there, and they will again tomorrow. And it's really important. And I think for them, it's not as scary as it may seem. You're really talking to somebody who is just like you. They're a Long Islander. They're from here. They're from your community. So just share your message, share your story, let them know really what you feel, what's in your heart, and it'll come through. So.
I would definitely agree with both Joe and Steve. We're very fortunate. Free's very fortunate to have an expert like Steve as a voice in Albany, and Joe coming up with the troops, as it were. But if you can make the trek to Albany, great. But you don't have to. Remember that you can call the office of your senator or assembly person, ask for a meeting, even if it's with staff or the member themselves. And most importantly, as you guys were saying, the job has changed, and not all of us can appreciate that. I've been to a number of free homes, and you know, but that's the way to do it. Have them come, give their story. The ideal situation is for the legislator to go to the homes and other organizations, obviously, you know, to learn more about how the job is expanded and what's needed and how little is being paid to direct care workers. But just going into the office, and we get 4 or 5 people from the same, given the same story, it's like starting to resonate. And obviously there's a lot more than 4 or 5 per district, no question about it. And that will allow legislators to go up. And when we have the debate on the budget, we'll be able to give the arguments. And I've given many arguments myself. Look, I was just at a home in the district, and this is what's going on there, you know, and they listen. I'm very fortunate, a very good friend of mine, Senator Rob Ort from Niagara Falls area. He's the senator of the Mental Health Committee. And so I'm always buttonholing him, as they say, and lobbying. Matter of fact, we lived together for the last 3 years up there, so he was hearing it constantly.
As I mentioned before, from the heart is the easiest thing that can translate. I think, and this specific campaign, Be Fair, is connected in so many different ways to so many different people. So it should be easy just to share what your staff does for you or what your staff does for your child. And it comes across. I think that it's so important this day and age is that we support the communities we live in whatever we do. So that's something I've definitely prided myself on, and I think we can share that here, that we all agree on it. So.
And I'd like to thank you for having me again, and thank Free for the work you do. The Free family is truly a tremendous advocate, and the work that's done for those in need is tremendous. I can tell you that over the course of years, I've had a number of close personal friends who said, oh, they're going to send their child or their family member to Free, and I know what that means. That means that I'm going to hear about it. Another strong advocate, because Free, that's what you do, and will continue to do, and thank you again for having me.
Thank you. We are an organization that's rooted in the philosophy of ensuring that we maximize human potential, and we see that all of you have a very similar way of thinking, so we so appreciate your support and your participation today. For our listeners that are interested in any details relevant to what we discussed today or any services for your loved one, you can reach us at www.familyres.org.
We thank you. We're so blessed to have such wonderful champions.